Now, as this hearing concludes, I'd like to thank again my fellow subcommittee members for their participation, and especially to our witnesses for joining us both in person and virtually. The stories of service that we've heard today are just a small fraction of the long history of immigrants serving bravely in our nation's armed forces. Immigrants have played a critical role in every major U.S. conflict, from the first battles of the Revolutionary War to the last troops stationed in Afghanistan today. It's our job to ensure that our immigration laws reflect this outstanding history of service, to recruit individuals with the skills our nation needs, to support justice for people like Mr. Bailey, and to keep soldiers' families safe so service members can stay focused on their missions. We should be making it easier, not harder, for service members to naturalize while in uniform. As the American Legion put it in their statement for the record for this hearing, and I'll quote, "It is a failure of all those involved that service members do not receive citizenship unless they specifically do not desire citizenship or had done something during their service which resulted in a dishonorable discharge." Close quote. Our military needs diverse recruits to stay prepared for the challenges of the 21st century. And immigrant veterans and their families deserve the permanency of citizenship in the country they have given so much for. The Trump administration weakened our national security by blocking paths to citizenship for service members. In some cases, active duty soldiers have faced immigration enforcement proceedings and even been deported from the home they served in uniform. We need a clearer picture for the number of deported veterans and their families. As a recent GAO report discovered, ICE is required to take additional steps prior to removal actions for veterans, like considering their service record. But as of 2019, ICE was not doing that, and therefore we have no real idea of how many members of our armed services and their families were unjustly deported. Veterans, citizen and non-citizen alike, often struggle with the return to civilian life. A number of non-citizen veterans have been removed from the United States as a result of simple transgressions or criminal convictions tied to post-traumatic stress disorder or another physical trauma they suffered while on active duty. It's an outrage that our laws force the deportation of people like Mr. Bailey, who served our country honorably and lost his green card over a simple mistake. We need to bring back transparency and accountability, and ICE needs to follow its own policies to prevent these deportations. Overall, it's clear that we need to act immediately to restore and strengthen the immigration services available in the armed forces. We need to reunite military families separated by deportation. Thousands of non-citizen immigrants, including DACA and TPS recipients, are eager to bring their talents to our military. Restoring programs like MAVNI and naturalization at basic training will increase our military preparedness for any challenge that lies ahead. I again want to thank Senator Duckworth for her leadership in addressing the immigration needs of military families and veterans. Look forward to working with her and all of our colleagues to solve the problems we've heard about today with the urgency that they deserve. Our service members, veterans, and military families deserve a solution, and our national security depends on it. And with that, today's hearing is adjourned.